All right, my lovelies. Welcome. Checkpoint level 11 is here with our special guest, the creator, the mind man of Age of Rust, Mr. Chris. How goes it, brother?
Good. How are you doing, man?
I'm hyped. This show, I've been looking at this game and I am so freaking stoked. I hope everybody is ready for a good show on this spooky season. It is Halloween, but we have a awesome show planned for you guys today. All right, so we've got people trickling in here. We got about 27 folks, so we're going to start digging through the website. If anybody has any questions that come along as we're going through the show, you know the drill. Just drop them in the chat and we'll get to them. Uh-oh. We've got a host coming through. Mad Ed hosting with 4 viewers. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. All right. So, Chris, Age of Rust.
Yeah.
A lot of hype's been coming up for this game, man. So when's it set to start coming out to us?
We'll definitely want to have something playable out by December. That's kind of when we're looking to bring this out for people. I know that a lot of people have been following us really close and have been kind of like counting the days for it to come out. So yeah.
I'm not one of them. I'm not going like this. So we've got a lot to dig through. So Age of Rust, if anybody isn't aware of this game, we're just going to start kind of going through it and kind of seeing what this game has to offer. So the first thing was we'll just go to the main screen here. So latest news, treasure hunt, wallets and tokens, mission hub. So if you could describe your game in a few short sentences, how would you do it?
I'd say it's an adventure game, but that's also action adventure. I think that, that's probably the easiest way to describe it. But a lot of people who have played it, they compare it to a little bit like Firewatch or Myst. So it kind of, yeah. I mean, that's what I mean.
If people don't know what Myst was, back in the day, this game was like this ultimate like point and click adventure. It was beautiful for its time, and you had to solve puzzles to continue into the game. And if you couldn't figure it out, you wasn't progressing. I remember that one pretty clearly.
Yeah, it's kind of like, Myst was such a huge inspiration, not only for me as a gamer, but also as a game developer. But it parallels a little bit with the technology back then and the technology that exists today for blockchain. So back then, when the game first came out, almost nobody had a DVD player in their computer.
Right.
In order to play games, or actually it was CD-ROM back then. So it's kind of like, nobody had, people didn't have a CD in order to play the game. So it's like they had to go out, buy a CD, buy a CD-ROM and install it in their computer to play the game. So, kind of like, today, I guess, the parallels in terms of like blockchain, right? With blockchain games, it's kind of like people kind of, step into blockchain a little bit in order to get into the blockchain games.
Yeah. And I get that because, I mean, and some people, it's like this huge hurdle. What do you feel like you did differently to kind of bridge that gap between the average video game player that just knows, your legacy type games to step into blockchain?
Yeah. So one of the things that, kind of like as a core design principle was to try to like lower that bar a little bit so that it wasn't such a huge hurdle to get into. And it is really challenging because the mindset that somebody has to have and the technical kind of wherewithal that they have to have as well in order to get into something like that. So one of the things that we wanted to do is we wanted to kind of like break away from some of the things that involve like, signing a message in a wallet You know,
Right.
that when one of the first kind of proof of concepts that I had for building a blockchain game was a text adventure called Space Pirates. And
If you
it's
kids don't know what a text adventure is, go ahead and Google it.
and you know, what was interesting is that it was, you know, it was on Counterparty, right?
Mhm.
And some of the, you know, some of the capabilities there to link your Counterparty wallet to the game involves signing a digital message, right? Which was
Right.
just, it was a bridge too far for everybody. You know, I mean, people who are in tech and people who are into blockchain who, you know, there's definitely people that can do that. And if you, even if you provide like a video and it's step-by-step instructions, it's still sometimes a little too far. So, you know, one of the things that we wanted to do, you know, with the 3D game was basically, you know, make it as easy as possible. You know, no usernames, no passwords, no email addresses to get in. You just scan a QR code through your Engine wallet and it links your account to the game, and then you're good to go. So
That's
that was kind of
awesome.
like, you know, yeah, just try to make it just as simple as possible.
So yeah, what is it? Had some cool T183 games, the old calculator.
Oh yeah.
I'm getting a little buffering every now and then, guys. Apologies if that's buffering for anybody. But yeah, Snake, really? We're gonna bring up Snake. Well, I mean, I get it. If you had a Nokia, that phone was the, or you know, that game was the bomb. But so I'm going through like the Age of Rust a little bit, and I'm seeing these characters. How do these characters come into play?
Yeah, so there's definitely like a narrative to the game, right? There's a bit of a storyline.
Mhm.
There's definitely some, you know, there's definitely some interaction, you know, with the characters to drive forward the story. So, like you have in, you know, like you have in Firewatch or Myst or, you know, Alien Isolation or other games of, you know, of kind of like a, you know, similar storylines. We definitely have, you know, we definitely have a couple of characters that, you know, kind of help push the story, push the narrative, tie some of the tie some of the gameplay into something more than just, you know, moving some objects around on the screen in order to make some in order to make
Yes.
something happen, right?
Well, it has that
So
has to have that character development, and that's kind of what, you know, immerses you into a game. You become attached to characters, or you become attached to a mission, or you're setting out for a particular reason. And while I was scrolling down, I also noticed it's single player. This
yeah.
is something that a lot of blockchain games aren't really approaching. They're looking for the multiplayer approach. What made you go to single player?
So a couple of things. One was that even though there was a lot of player demand for having multiplayer, I think within the multiplayer environment, you lose the capability, I think, really to tell a story directly to the player without it becoming something that you have to try to work in a lot of different a lot of different angles to encompass a lot of different players. And so I think, you know, one of the things that I like doing is I like telling a story. I like crafting something from a writer's perspective that basically says, this is the world that I've created. This is these are the characters. This is the storyline. Here's the, you know, here's the narrative for this character. And to kind of like bring you into that world is a little bit of a, I think it plays better on a one-to-one level with the player. So that way you can kind of impart an environment. You can really take the world building to that next level and incorporate the player into it. And I think it definitely resonates to me more on playing an adventure game that is single player more so than multiplayer.
Mm-hmm.
So that was one of the reasons why Age of Rust is a single player rather than a multiplayer. But it does definitely take some people aback because there's so many games right now that are blockchain, that are multiplayer, which is great. That's fantastic. But one of the things that I want to do through this game is I want to tell a story, and I think that doing that in a multiplayer setup is much more difficult, I think.
Yes, no, and I feel like with MMORPGs, I feel like there's some magic lost when you have a group of people with you and everything. And I get it, some of the bosses take multiple people to beat and everything else, but there's something about discovering something alone. There's something about going out and, you know, doing the research to get to a certain spot or anything else, because, you know, back when we were growing up, we didn't have the internet. We had a lunch table and that's where some of the best, you know, descriptions of games were held at the time. You know, like when one person learned a fatality in Mortal Kombat, that was all the rage for that day, because then you go home and you try to do it. And it took that kind of camaraderie to be able to build that. And, you know, these days it's so easily accessible. And, you know, I'm really glad, because I enjoy first person games. I mean, everybody like enjoyed Skyrim. I mean, come on, it was a great game, but it didn't take anybody else in the game to play with you to make it a good game. So that's pretty exciting. Let's see. I had somebody say sometimes single player games are better than multi depending on how the game is played. Exactly. I couldn't agree with you more on that, Emperor. Let's see. It's cool. It trains me speak English. I've got some people learning how to speak English. That's dope. Okay, guys. Later on, we are going to be having some races. You are going to need an Engine wallet. If you are the grand prize winner, you will need a BTC address and a Zenzo address. We haven't told anybody about that part, but make sure you got both just in case you do win. And we're going to go into that a little bit later. We're going to keep on going through the website. I just wanted to let everybody know, so if you got to get something ready, you can go ahead and start doing that. So we're going to the fact real quick. Is the game out? You pretty much already answered that. Not yet, but for beta, the beta for Season 1 will be available in December 2020. So go get your Age of Runs cards now. Where will the game be available? The game will be available on Steam. So if you guys want to go put it on your wish list, this is time to do so. Do I need tokens to play the game? To play the basic game, you only need to link your Engine wallet to the game, but you don't need any tokens to start. Let's go off of that for just a second. So what you're saying is that in order to play the game, it doesn't cost me anything to get in.
That's right. Yeah. So for at least like for, so the game will be sold through Steam, you know, and what have you. So, you know, there definitely is that piece of it. Mm-hmm. But for like to start playing the game, you don't necessarily need to have all the tokens and everything directly available in your wallet on the get-go to start playing the game. Mm-hmm. One of the reasons why I changed a little bit of that, and then that's a recent change actually, because one of the things that I think a lot of the blockchain games have in terms of issues are basically kind of players have a little bit of they need a little bit of an on-ramp to come from the non-blockchain world into the blockchain world, right?
Right.
So we definitely want to give players a little bit of a taste, a little bit of an experience of the game without basically having to go through and buy all the tokens, collect everything from the onset and go into it. Mm-hmm. and then try to figure out the game and try to figure out blockchain at the same time. So while there definitely are players that definitely do have that capability, right? They're pretty savvy. They come from the blockchain world. They played other blockchain games before. Mm-hmm. They have their wallets ready. They have everything going, and they can just slide into it. Yeah. But one of the reasons why I wanted to build Age of Rust and why I wanted to build a blockchain was basically to provide a stepping stone to get people into blockchain, to get people into cryptocurrency, to get people, a little bit more to start making a little bit of that, that transition, kind of easier and do it in a fun and entertaining way. And so, yeah, definitely, the game kind of has a mode to it where
Right.
you can play the game without having to have all the blockchain tokens available at the onset.
Okay. Yeah, well, I mean, I couldn't possibly explain it any better than that. So, we got a couple questions. Any chances that in the future there will be more cards added which will have all those and I guess all those rights and features of Origin and Last Light?
Okay, so yeah, so basically there's two what are basically called gold cards um, through the game, and basically what they do is they're kind of like the premier collectible cards. They were released quite a ways ago from our old counterparty days, and we brought them over into Ethereum, and we kind of gave those to some players initially who were interested and helped crowdfund the project, right? So
Mm-hmm.
they're kind of like, okay, like these are the kind of founders tokens, if you will, for for being part of the project and sticking with us for this long. And so those are the two gold cards, and those are called Last Light and Origin. Um, and they're kind of pretty unique cards in the sense that the Origin card basically unlocks everything in the game by holding that particular card. So it's kind of like the black Amex card, right? It's kind of that.
It's kicking off God mode is what it sounds like. Like that's the card to have.
That's exactly right. So not only does that card open up everything for Age of Rust, but also any other game that is made by Space Pirate Games that will unlock everything going into the future as well. So because I mean, we're definitely want to make more games than just Age of Rust later on,
Of course.
but so Origin card will always unlock everything in our blockchain games going forward, and both of those cards are used in the treasure hunts in the game.
Mm-hmm.
So the original question was, are we going to create more of those gold cards? And the answer is no. Those cards they're limited, they're unique, and they're basically going to stay kind of kind of limited in that in that arrangement.
Very cool.
There is a little bit of a caveat to that, though. And the
Okay.
caveat is that because these cards are needed in order to progress in the game, if all the holders of the cards that are currently out there in circulation, if they melt them and they destroy them, then there's the capability within the 1155 contract on the blockchain side of it
Mm-hmm.
for us to create more.
Okay.
So just to have continuity within the game and within the treasure hunts in the game, I would I would go back and I would create more. Or I wouldn't create more. The quantity would still stay the same
Right.
that were minted, but I would just
Replenish what was lost.
recreate. Yeah, I would recreate the ones that were melted.
And
And,
that
and
makes perfect sense. I mean, if there is 10 of the cards in existence and somebody destroys one, instead of it being just fading into obscurity, creating another one and releasing it out there, that's super cool. We had another question about the prison key. Where will the prison key card be used? I guess that's what they were saying. Where will the prison key card be used, and would you suggest having only one or as many as possible?
Yep. So definitely so there's a prison key card that was used for that was included as part of a game called FOMO. It was kind of a game that we did as a puzzle with Coin Artist, who you had for last show for your last show. So we created a little 3D mini game where you kind of like ran around and tried to solve some puzzles, and there was a reward for that. And one of the promotional items that we had with that game was a blockchain asset, which is called the FOMO Prison Key Card. Mm-hmm. So that game will that game card will be used in Age of Rust more so in the second season than in the first season. Mm-hmm. So you'll need that card on a particular level in season 2 called NX City, which is kind of a prison city where humans are imprisoned, and part of that level includes kind of getting out of NX City, and you'll definitely need the prison key card for that level for sure. Okay. Yeah.
Very cool. So you wouldn't need multiple; you'll just need one.
You only need one, but you could definitely pick up more and trade them for other cards that you don't have in your pile. But basically, you only need one of those.
Said first person to post an ETH address gets a prison key card, and it looks like we've already got somebody posting one. That went fast. So, all right. So we're going to go a little bit more into the fact a little bit. It says, where we were talking about, do I need tokens to play the game? However, the game has multiple reward levels for solving puzzles. To get access to the higher level reward puzzles and potential to unlock a reward, you will need tokens. You can win the tokens as well to access higher reward levels. However, they are limited and difficult to obtain. And we're going to go more into that once we go into the treasure section. So I own an Engine Age of Rust MFT. What does that do? We kind of got over that a little bit, so we're just going to leave that one out. Where can I purchase the tokens to play the higher reward levels? The tokens you need are the mission tokens and Rust bits. You can find the 10 mission tokens, which you'll be able to win some of those later, on the Engine Marketplace or OpenSea. Very cool. Some of the other games had crypto ciphers in them. Do I need to know ciphers to solve the puzzles? No, you don't. There are traditional crypto puzzles in the Age of Rust. You're not required to blindly solve encryption or book ciphers for any of the puzzles. While some of the puzzles might require basic knowledge of math and the alphabet, I hope so, many of the puzzles contain the hints and clues required to solve them, even though occasionally being obscured. So that pretty much says it all right there. You don't know what you're looking for until you find it. And that's kind of the allure to all this. I feel like, when I was playing kind of adventure games and everything else like that, some of the most frustrating times were getting stumped, but they were also the most rewarding when you finally solve them. So that's super cool. And it's so funny that you mentioned Myst, because there was I had gotten to so far, and for like 2 days, I just couldn't until I finally went back and got an item and then made it through. So yeah, that's looking to be super rewarding. All right, a little bit about Engine here. The Engine wallet, Age of Rust runs on the Engine platform. In order to play Age of Rust, you'll need to download the Engine wallet on your mobile device. Once installed, you'll be able to link your wallet to the game. This verifies ownership of the game items and allows you to view, sell, trade, and buy game items easily. God forbid they be easy. So it looks like you got a little bit of the mission cards here. So out of all of the cards, which one's your favorite?
My favorite, for some particular reason, I definitely like the Origin card. Is definitely one of my favorite ones. I also like the Road Next card. I particularly like the way that came out. So that I think those are my two favorites. But I definitely I like the Origin card for sure.
Dude, that just reminds me of Stargate. Like that, yeah. I look at and then it's kind of like that desert setting, and I'm like, man, if y'all didn't like, Stargate was big back in the day. It does not hold up well to today's CGI, but back in the day it was cutting edge. So these are a little bit of the cards that you can kind of go through. So you have Cell Charger. So I see some of these are like items and guns and everything else like that. So I guess these are kind of self-explanatory, right? Like a lighter, lights up area where flashlights fail. It's kind of self-explanatory there. Grappling hook, reach access. Oh god, that just makes me feel like I just instantly think of Zelda. Because like I can't get there till I get that damn grappling hook. Stargate was sick. So if anybody does have any questions, like I said, I'll be kind of looking through it, and if you guys, like I said, want to throw anything towards Chris, I'll be sure to relay. So this little section is, if you haven't heard of Age of Rust, this is probably going to blow your mind. Treasure and rewards. Blockchain assets and cryptocurrency rewards. Solving puzzles in Age of Rust requires a keen eye for hints and clues to rewards hidden in the game. And this, I love how he come up with this term. Armchair treasure hunters can sit back and explore the worlds looking for the lost treasure ciphered away into the game. And I'm a big Ready Player One fan. The first term I think about is Gunter. A Gunter is a treasure like egg finder. That's what they do. That's what they're setting out to do. And I feel like he's come up with his own term for that, and I think that's super cool. Treasure hunt debrief. There are several treasure tokens, and some are backed by a large amount of engine coin. Kanto's private keys, for example, is backed by 20,000 engine coins. Other treasure tokens have similar amounts, such as 12,000, 10,000, and 1,000 engine. There are 2 large treasures in the game, a 4 BTC treasure and a 20 BTC treasure is buried inside of this game. Now, I don't know about you guys. I remember playing Halo 3 and just going 8 for the Hayabusa armor and everything that it took to get it. If this isn't one of the biggest Easter eggs I have seen in a game, I don't know what is. When I remember kind of talking to you this before, when you put the 20 BTC into the game, you didn't really have, it wasn't the value of what it is now, correct? So,
that's right, yeah.
Where was it sitting at when you decided to put 20 BTC in this game?
It was sitting right at around about 1,000. It was just a tad over $1,000 for each Bitcoin back when the design of it went into play. So yeah, nowhere near the price that it's at now.
Well, that's super cool. I mean, but you stuck to your guns. You didn't change nothing. You were like, I don't care what the value of that coin is. I want that value in my game. And that definitely says something about what you've made. So, properly warn ye be, says I. As you can already imagine, finding the hidden treasures in the game is going to be very challenging, even with many people or teams working together to find them. Go into the treasure hunt with reasonable expectations and with the reality of finding something of value that is well hidden. The world and puzzles in Age of Rust were meant to provide entertainment for everyone. The game and hunt is meant to be in good faith and effort and spirit of the armchair treasure hunt. And you have your Discord link right there. Oh my god. I mean, can we just play it now? Come on. Holy shite. Yeah, dude. That's 20 grand then is over like 200K now, man. You're a legend. So that's some of the stuff going on in chat. When will Age of Rust prizes from Torion be sent to us? I think that's kind of in the Torion camp, isn't it?
Yeah. Still waiting for them to provide the list. I know that the game ended. I think their game ended, I think, mid-October or something like that. Mm-hmm. So I got a DM from them in Discord. I want to say just a couple of days ago, and that they were going to send out. They were going to send me the list of winners. So yeah, definitely we'll be sending those prizes out to folks as soon as we have the completed list.
Hey man, and that's the cool thing. You can actually come to these shows and ask him yourself. So You know, and that's kind of the idea of what we're doing here. Everybody that's watching the show now, I want you to be able to reach out and ask the questions that you guys want to ask. There's a lot of love put into this game. I love first player games. Like, I mean, I 100%ed Oblivion. I mean, I spent hours on that game. I did my best to go through every cave, pick up every sword, and then with this, you know, not only are you getting something back, it holds value, but that love for the game is there. And when you're talking about, you know, and I'm going to kind of go into this in just a second, you know, where your inspiration lies. So with that being brought up, what games inspired you to go down the path of creating Age of Rust?
Yeah, so definitely some of the early games were definitely inspirational for this. And when I mean early games, we're talking about definitely going back into the 80s for sure. So there was a game called The Pawn, which came out on Commodore 64, and it was a half text, half graphic adventure.
Yeah.
So you were set upon an adventure, and there was like a boulder in the path, right? Mm-hmm. And you'd have to type like, you know, get stick, move boulder, right? In order to actually move the boulder out of your way. And this is back before, right? So there's no internet. This is even back kind of before BBSs were even like out there. So you couldn't dial into a BBS and ask your friends. Yeah. You basically, the only way to kind of like try to figure this out was basically to, you know, stay up till 2 a.m. trying to figure out how to get the boulder out of the path, or, you know, hang out at like the, you know, where you got the game, right? So it might have been like a corner computer store, right? Where, you know, you and others, you know, gathered, or, you know, maybe it was like a computer lab at school, right? Or something like that, you know, where everybody's playing Oregon Trail, right? And you're like, oh,
I died of dysentery again.
Right. You know, oh man, I got the pawn and I'm like stuck, you know, trying to get out of the path. How do I do it? You know? And so that was one. The other were like, so SSI came out with a whole bunch of RPG games that were called Gold Box. And the reason why they were called Gold Box is because they came out in a gold box. One of them was called Eye of the Beholder. Mm-hmm. And it had a lot of very Myst-like kind of puzzles in them, right? Mm-hmm. So you'd have to like orient like the jewels in the wall to a particular, you know, order. You had to like do kind of like all these things. And at the time, gamers weren't used to that kind of a game. They were used to, you know, pick up sword, you know, kill orc, you know, move into the next room. Right. And so while the game definitely had that, the game also had these puzzles where you'd have to, you know, pick up a skull and put it in a notch in the wall, and the wall would slide out of the way, right? So, you know, that was kind of, you know, and again, you know, there was no way to figure any of this out other than you and your friends staying up late at night.
Yep.
In the game, just
taking down notes, physical notes, and putting all that stuff together. That was the hunt.
That was the hunt, right? And so that was the, you know, those kinds of games, as well as the Sierra games that came out a little later on. So Space Quest, King's Quest, Quest for Glory, you know, all those, and while those were point and click, you know, adventure games, and, you know, some of them had a text parser, the spirit of playing those games and the spirit of trying to figure out what the next step was without somebody or the game specifically telling you, you know, go pick up the crystal shard and put it in the fountain, and then you'll be able to get to the next thing, you know. So these days, the way that games are done, particularly in the adventure genre, is that a lot of game developers are telling players directly how to get to progress, because a little bit of it is, you need to have some patience to play a game like that, right?
Yep.
And the games that are geared and the games that sell really well today are the ones that basically have very linear progression,
Yep.
where you tell the player exactly what they need to do in order to get to the next step. While I do a little bit of that in Age of Rust, definitely a lot of these reward puzzles don't have that. So while there may be a hint, you're definitely not going to get the step-by-step instructions on how to solve that puzzle. So
nice.
But yeah, but those early games, those early point and click, those early adventure games, the Zorks, all those kinds of games were definitely inspiration for creating this.
Yeah, we actually had a name drop in the chat, Shadowgate. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, we had a little bit of a drop. And see, back in the day, these games did not have the conveyance as they do today. They expected you to figure it out. There's a fine line where between it becomes too hard, I can't progress, to I have to work to get past this. And I feel like that's been something that's been kind of lost, because you're so taken by the hand and you're guided, you're taught, you have auto aim, you have all of these things that can make you a better player without having to be a better player. And that hurdle is what separates the adventurer from your casual gamer. And it's cool to see that coming back out. We had another question. I think it was about the release. Let me see right here. When can we play Age of Rust demo again, or season 1 will be first?
Yeah, so we had an early demo that was, well, we've actually had 2 separate demos for Age of Rust. One demo was completely non-blockchain, and what it allowed you to do is play the second level in the pre-alpha game. We recently redid our website, so the links for those have been taken down. But I'll put that link back up either in the Discord or back up on the website somewhere. So that way players can, if they want to, they can go and play the early pre-alpha. We had another one that came out, which was more of an alpha, which had the blockchain integration into it. So you needed to own a couple of tokens in order to kind of get outside of the first room of the game.
Right.
And that was linked to that was linked to the Engine ecosystem before Engine had their final release on their backend system. So when they went from beta to production on the Engine system, it changed a number of things that were encoded into the game to basically allow that particular build to work. Right. So I didn't, when Engine came out with its final build, in building where I was, it was already 2 or 3 builds ahead of that. So I didn't necessarily want to go back into an earlier build, crack it open, make a whole bunch of changes, and spend time spend time getting an earlier version to work again, rather than just continuing to work on the new version. Yeah. So
you don't want to take 20 steps back just to take a few steps forward. It just makes sense.
Exactly. So there is a playable build out there, but it's just not a recent build. So later today I'll go ahead and I'll throw the link back up, so if players can if they want to go have a little bit of fun, they can definitely go and do that.
Okay, cool. All right, we're going to go into a little bit of gameplay. So I went to the media section, and it looks like they've got a little bit of gameplay. So let's see what Age of Rust has to offer here.
Greetings, Doctor. I'm afraid I had to wake you up while I still had control of the cryolab. Take a moment to get reacquainted with moving around. It looks like a bounty hunter has been searching through implants for hidden crypto.
Ooh. I saved this one. I haven't seen it either.
Stand by. Scanning crypto implant.
Ooh.
The ship is heavily damaged. I've lowered the bulkhead doors to suffocate the fire outside of the cryo lab. I am detecting movement behind
6710, guys. Come on. We know that one now. Ooh, they got armor. Not enough.
They are highly dangerous. Try to avoid them if you can. I'm the ship's AI. You are on board the Tucana 4, but something has gone wrong with the artificial intelligence system inside the mechs.
Oh, God.
They are responsible for crew security, maintenance, and life support of the crew.
Cylons. Cylons.
Get ready the car to get into engineering.
Oh, good lighting. Nice. Oh, I've got that Aliens vibe. Like something's above me.
Use your flashlight and search for the red keycard.
Wow. Oh, I'm totally not fangirling right now at all.
I am detecting rogue AI in the engine room. You might be able to sneak around them. I have also blocked them from communicating to each other in case one detects you.
There's a flashlight to your left, bruh. Ooh. Bruh. You took one shot. Oh. That was brutal. Man. It's got to be all kind of hyped up. Alright, hold on. Looks like we got a little buffering action going on here. Come on, stream. Did you just... maybe watching the video was too much? Oh, I refreshed and now I gotta watch a commercial on my own stream. Come on, man. I want to go. There we go. Okay, we're back. Sorry about that, guys. I would love to go to a different internet company, but there's only one because I live in a podunk town. My apologies. Yeah, a little bit of a bufferino there. All right, so this is one of the other videos that had I saw last night. I watched this one, and I know hints when I see it. Sitting there shooting a random floating orb. So if you guys see a floating orb in the game, yeah, it did a little bit of a oof there for a minute. My apologies there, guys. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. The video was too hype. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and agree with you on that one. So that right there, I don't know. I'm not going to poke and prod him. Is that, a little something we need to know? And I have enough gaming expertise to know I want to shoot that orb. Let's see. Screenshots. Let's go through some of the screenshots here. Oh, my music. I'm going to turn that back on too. There we go. So it looks like there's a bunch of different areas in this game. Like, are these just straight up different planets or just different areas?
Yeah, definitely. The player will be taken to several different planets within the game. So you start out on Earth, and then you transition basically to the next basically level takes you to being on a ship, and then basically from there you go to another planet. There's definitely, not only is there different areas within within each planet, but you definitely get exposed to some different biomes and different areas, different things going on, different situations, different areas of the level that are complex or definitely more geared towards adventuring or combat. So yeah, definitely you definitely are gonna travel through the universe with this game for sure.
Awesome. I like that, man. That wooded area. That one.
Yeah.
That looks pretty epic. I mean, just the scale. I mean, the unique ships, the unique characters. It looks boss. Come on, let me play it. Just let me play it. This is worse than waiting in line at GameStop. Like, so guys, we've got about 10 more minutes before we're going to start going into races. In that 10 minutes, we're going to have a small 5-minute break to where we can get up and kind of refresh ourselves, get ready for the races. So I'm going to go ahead and open the floor for any kind of Q&A. If you guys have any questions for Chris, we will be glad to take them during the races and everything else. But if you guys have any questions y'all want to drop now, we can go ahead and take them. Gold card holders get early access?
Yeah, so it's one of the things that there's a couple of things. So we have a channel in our Discord that basically for people who hold the gold card, they get access to early screenshots. They get a lot of kind of information about how the game is being built. They get information about different things going on with the game. But we also involve our gold holders in some of the decision-making processes for where the project is going, and we include them in some things. So it's kind of like, they might be able to name something, or they might be able to contribute in some way into the game. So we'll take our Gold Series holders and we kind of like kind of bring them into the creative, bring them into the project. So there's that.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing is that for the beta, one of the things that we did is that we kind of we had closed off the beta initially to people who only had the gold card, or who had another token from something else. So we kind of tried to circle the wagons around that, but I've changed that to open it up to kind of any mission token, or if you hold Rust bits, or if you hold a Multiverse Founders token that was minted by Engine. Mm-hmm. It's kind of got a purpley, kind of marbly kind of color to it. Okay. So we'll allow those players to play the beta as well. The only people who got to play the early access were the Gold Series holders. So they had to have a gold card in order to play the initial early build. But nice. Yeah, so we're definitely going to open the game up to more people for the beta.
Cool, very cool. All right, so let's see. Tell everyone what they need to get again. You will need an Engine address, a BTC address, and a Zenzo address. You will only need the BTC address for the grand prize winner of 0.1 BTC at the last race of the show. So be sure to have that ready. The grand prize winner will also be receiving 500 ZNZ, so you will need to be able to provide a ZNZ address as well. Chris, can you sign that hat for me and send it to me? I want to smell it for any hints. We get all kinds in the shows. We get all kinds. Oh, come on. Don't buffer, you jerk. Okay, we're back. There we go. All right, so let's see. Wait your turn. Oh, God. Win jet bike token. I hope I'm saying that right. Is it for AOR merch we bought?
Yeah, so if somebody had purchased, we're obviously partnered with Engine on a lot of different things. They promote the game for us, heavily, on their platform, since we're an Engine game. And maybe about in September, they offered us to have the capability to have a piece of merchandise, which was an Age of Rust, which was an Age of Rust hoodie. And if somebody bought an Age of Rust hoodie, they could get a jet bike token. So basically, if you didn't get your jet bike token yet and you purchased a hoodie, come into the Discord, DM me your F address, and I'll send you the jet bike token. I think there was I want to say probably like 95% of them sent out. So I think there's probably a few people who probably didn't get it. So if you bought your Age of Rust hoodie and you didn't get your jet bike token, come into the Age of Rust Discord, DM me, and I'll send you your token.
Cool, very cool. Let's see, we had another one. Guys, like I said, I'm sorry, we've got some buffers that are kicking on, but it's coming right back, so just bear with us. Let's see if you did win. We need this. Saw another question. Let's see. Stop typing. All right, let's see. Does Age of Rust support interoperability in general? Easier said than done. Easier said than... Stop typing, you guys. It just keeps popping it back down. Internet said it... Damn it. Scroll up, you stupid laptop. Easier said than done, of course, with cohesiveness, consistency, but
Mondo, cool.
Just curious. So, does Age of Rust support interoperability in general?
I suppose it depends kind of in which context of interoperability.
Thanks for the sub, Gonfer.
I suppose if, like, you know, if will it work? Will the game work outside of the InGen platform? The answer to that is no. It's basically it's built and crafted around the InGen platform. So I guess, you know, from a blockchain perspective, it's built on Ethereum. Our tokens use the ERC 1155 contract. So outside of that, no.
Okay, cool. So let's see. Where can I claim a real jet bike? Is gas included? Import tax? No, B. I don't think we can get that. Let's see.
A little hard.
Is the Xbox controller usable?
Yeah, absolutely. So the game will recognize your Xbox controller as well as a PS4 controller, or you can use keyboard and mouse as well, if you want to. So you can either use a gamepad or keyboard and mouse.
Nice. So the NFT tokens that I actually have on the screen now, these are the ones at the bottom. The Season 1 multiverse, so like the Shadow Song, APG, Forge Hammer. What can you do with? Will it have a future? What if you hold 7 of those? Thank you for the follow, A-Stacks.
What if you hold 7? What if you hold multiple of the multiverse tokens?
I think that's what they're asking.
Okay, yeah. So the game definitely does use the multiverse tokens. Season 1 uses a variety of them, but it doesn't use all of them. But it definitely uses like Forge Hammer, the Epichrome sword. It uses we use definitely more than one, but we don't use necessarily all of them. In Season 1, Season 2, we're adding more support for the multiverse tokens. But you're definitely gonna want, like, you know, like the Shadow Song one. You're gonna want the Owen Drasdane. You're gonna want, like, you know, the Epichrome, and gosh, I know I'm missing one. I'm really bad with trying to remember which multiverse tokens are out there, because there's quite a few. So yeah, I think the only one that was slated for season 1 that was removed, which was Mike, but Mike will be back in for season 2.
Cool. We're back in a buffering fit. Come on, you silly thing. I've only lost 21,000 frames. Some days I'll have none lost. And then, yeah. But we had a cold snap down here, so I'm thinking that might have some effect with it. I used to be a cable guy, so I know all the kind of stuff that happens. But it looks like it's kicking back off right where it stops, so no big deal there. All right, guys, it is now 1 o'clock. We are going to go ahead and take a quick 5-minute break, and then we are going to come back and kick off some marbles races. So hang tight and get ready, because the prizes are about to start coming off the shelf. See y'all in a few. And we're back, ladies and gents. It's Marbles time. And let's just talk a little bit what's on the plate here. We've got Age of Rush mission cards 1, 2, and 3. We've got Age of Rush MFT tokens that unlock beta access plus bonus missions in Season 4. We've got 10 APG M55 plasma guns and gun tokens. Then we've got 5,000 Rust bits, 500 engine coin, and a grand prize of 0.1 BTC and 500 Zenzo. So without further ado, let's get a track up and going here. Now, rules of the game. If you are new to this, how we are playing. If there's 3 winners, 3 people will receive a prize. If there is 1 winner, only 1 person will get the prize and the rest will be omitted until the next race. If nobody wins on a race, we will save those prizes and go into a next race. But if somebody wins during a race, the rest of the prize and nobody else wins, the rest of the prizes are null and void. So, if you do not know how to play, as you can see, people are popping up on the screen. All you have to do in chat is type !play and you'll see your name pop up. Once the race starts, you'll go to the track and we'll have winners at the end. How we have it set up is first, second, and third will win prizes. And on the first race we have, let's see, I had that ready. On the line, first place winner will get an Age of Rush Mission 1 card. Second place will get a plasma gun. And third will get an Age of Rush Mission 2 card. So that is what's on the first race here. Alright, we got 29, so come on, don't be shy. Also, if you win a race, please DM Urine B in the Zenzo Discord. There is a link to our Discord below. And in order to receive your prize, we have to hear from you. So, be aware of the rules. And if anybody has any questions as this goes down, throw it in the chat. We'll get to you. All right, man. We got about 48 people in the stream, so I want to see 40 marbles out here on the track. Can we win multiple prizes? Yes, you can. If you win the same of multiple cards, look to see if somebody else wins multiple. Get to know them. Trade. That's what cards are about. Just make them pay the gas fee or something. I'm just kidding. Yeah, as long as it's not transferring at like 100 plus Gwei, we'll be all right. What do you think about, man, that grand prize? That grand prize, man. If you can, you'll have enough to be buying that fancy card that's out there. If you go out there and see the Origin card, trust me, that sucker's worth a pretty little penny. And if you win that 0.1 BTC, I suggest you go grab that sucker as soon as possible. All right. We've got 37 people out on the track. We are going to start the countdown. 45 seconds until we kick it off. Good luck, guys, and may the odds forever be in your favor. This is gonna be a good one, man. It sucks because I can't win, but I snuck a pack from somebody. Nothing. I'm not gonna talk about that. Gotta get the rest of the cards though, man, because I gotta collect. These are like the NFT Pokemon cards I've been looking for. All right, here we go. Also, everybody, be sure to refresh so you can stay up to date because we did have a little buffering earlier. Might have fixed it out there, but who knows? Here we go. It's a pretty forgiving track, so I'm hoping everybody survives. Some of these tracks are brutal, dude.
Are they?
Yes. That's why I said if nobody wins, we'll carry the prizes to the next one.
Right on.
Like I said, guys, if you want to receive your prizes, be sure to join our Discord and message Mr. Urine B if you do win. All right, everybody heading down the pipes now. We've got a lot of marbles on the track, so I can't even see names. Still swirling around the pipe here. Who's going to drop down first? Go, little balls of fire. If you want to win, be sure not to be me. All right, Mengeris. You're in B. Pogob, Kakio, Zamborg. First one's out of the pipe. The boost is off. Yes, there is no boost. We want this just to be just simple as it can be. Everybody has an equal chance. All right, getting closer to the end of the track here. All right. Oh, we got a few people that fell off the track. Pogo B and Mengeris. Oh God, Luigi Lemon took off flying. And we have our first winner. Congratulations. You just won yourself an Age of Rush Mission 1 card. You're in B gets second. And Milan012 gets third. I said Mulan. Milan. All right. Well done, guys. That wasn't bad for a first race. We got a lot of people that actually survived. There's one track. I think it's a Portals one. I hate it.
Oh, wow.
Oh God, don't buffer, you stupid thing. So we're going to omit B. And just for the future races, guys, Kakios and B don't race, so we don't have to do that. So we're gonna go ahead and skip B, and we'll take fourth there. Ace Stacks will take third. All right. Congratulations, guys. Nice. On to the next race. So, the second race changes up just a little bit. We've got the Age of Rust MFT token for first, Age of Rust Mission 3 cards for second, and a plasma gun for third. You guys know the drill. Exclamation play, get your ball out on the track, and let's have that next race. Also, guys, if you have any questions, feel free to throw them out while we're having races. I mean, Chris, how long has Age of Rust been in development?
So it's definitely been in like hardcore development, like solid, just like coding for about a year and a half. And before that, about 6 months of some initial design work. So altogether from start to finish, about 2 years.
Wow.
At least the 3D game aspect of it, yeah. We've had some other stuff that we've released over the past 3 years. So there's been the FOMO game that I talked about earlier.
Right.
There's like a horror series that I have worked on called Redfern Valley with one of our community members. We have some really talented community members that work for some pretty big game development houses, as well as just other folks have pitched into that as well. It's kind of a fun like little side series. There's been that one. So and those have been free, by the way. So we haven't charged anything to people to play those games.
Nice.
So something to kind of play while they're waiting for Age of Rust to come out.
Cool. Lefevre. I can't pronounce names. What's your favorite puzzle you've created? And we're gonna go ahead and start the countdown, guys. So get them out on the track.
Favorite puzzle. Boy, that's
a hard one. That's a hard one, isn't it?
That is a hard question. I think my favorite one was one where it was really difficult, but basically in the text adventure game that we had, there was a puzzle that you had to decipher all the clues, and you actually had to create a token on your own, where you minted your own token, and it basically gave you control of the game in that whoever you gave the token to, you could make as many as you want, and whoever you gave the token to allowed them to get into the next puzzle room with you. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of like create your own key to get into the next dungeon room, and that was handed over to basically the players for them to do. And so yeah, I'd have to say that was probably my favorite of all of them, simply because it put the hands of the game into the players and outside of my control. So I thought that was fun. That was interesting.
Yeah, that is very cool. I mean, because it's just like, okay, take and do with what you will, and that's cool. That's super cool.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
All right, we got Maple Snow, Opie Yum, and Ace Stacks leading it up right now. And we've got our first winner, Opie Yum. Maple Snow coming in at second. And Leo Zales, that guy on third. Congratulations, guys. All right. Moving right along. Okay. Yes, everybody, it is your responsibility to claim these prizes. If you are here and you are in it, you will know. And just pay attention. We're not one of those people that's just going to be like, oh, you waited 2 hours too long. We have these recorded. Come and get in contact with us, and we will get you taken care of. All right, next track. Oh, this one's a devilish track. Good luck, everybody. So, for race 3, we've got an Age of Rust MFT token that gives you that beta access, Age of Rust Mission 1 card, and an APG plasma gun for first, second, and third. People are getting out on the track pretty quick. Don't buffer, you stupid thing. I swear to God, I will yeet this computer. Not now, because, then we wouldn't be able to race, but later. I've had my fair share of, first player adventure games. And then, back in the day, the text adventure games left a lot to the imagination. And I feel like it's kind of a shame because, back in the day, you had to have that kind of imagination to build the world that's being presented to you in text. And it's so easy to paint the picture of your own reality in that. And then, those are the things that made Dungeons and Dragons and all those things very popular. And the text adventure, when those things first kind of came out, you had to build the world around you. And it was so difficult. I remember some of them, I would type in everything and I could never figure it out. And it turns out it's like a one-word command. That was good stuff. So back then, this is like arcade era stuff, or no, Atari era stuff. What was your favorite text adventure?
I'd say Zork was probably my favorite one. Yeah,
that was such a name drop.
Yeah, that was that was big back in the day, I remember in my day when I was growing up, to get access to a computer, because they were so expensive, and schools usually had computers in the libraries, but you would have to apply to get an access card in order to access the computer lab portion of where they had the computers. So
Yeah. All right, guys, we kicked off the timer. If you don't get on the track now, forever hold your peace. You have to wonder why you can't get ye flask. Wait, what? I guess I might have missed something on that one. I don't have a flask. I got coffee. It counts, right? So I'm appreciative of everybody coming out this spooky season. This is the Checkpoint Level 11. We do this every month. So if you have a guy or a game that you want to see as a guest come out on the Checkpoint, be sure to let us know in our Discord and we'll reach out to them. We got 57 people hanging out on the show. We got 45 marbles on the track. Let's get it. All right, here we go. Leo out the gate first. Daughter of May, Maple Snow. Come on, guys. Who's going to get those double prizes? I broke these up, so hopefully everybody, like, if you do win multiple times, you can get, like, a different mission card or something like that. I want everybody to get a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And hopefully see you guys in the chat room in December. Because I guarantee you, we're going to be talking to each other. Lanes, Leo, Squid, Cryptop. They're coming out the gate first, but Leo takes a dive. Oof. Oof. It's still anybody's race, gang. Can you guys reach out to Dota? I'm sorry, I mean Coda. I see what you did there. I see what you did. Defenders of the Ancients. Yes, Dota, like, did you ever get into the MOBA style gameplay?
A little bit, but definitely I didn't go too deep into that, into those games. But yeah, I did play some. One of them I played pretty regularly, but I can't remember the name of it for the life of me off the top of my head. But I mean, they're really fun.
Yeah, Dota was really popular one. League of Legends was a really popular one. And then you had some kind of offshoot ones, which were like Smite. And then, I mean, everybody's kind of got their own little versions of them now.
Yeah.
MW making their way downtown, walking fast and catching first because he's homebound. All right, we got Dog, God, Frog, Log. That was entirely too hard to say. Catching second. All right. MW's one of our regulars. I know that guy. And Kermit the Hobbit catching third. Congratulations, guys. This one's going to even be hard to write. Dog, God, Frog, Log. And the Kermit the Hobbit. I like that one. That one's pretty cool. So is there anything you want to tell the viewers? Like, is there any little hints you want to throw us while we're out here on the checkpoint? Maybe I won't write it down or nothing. Or go back and watch this recording on repeat.
Yeah, I think it's interesting because it's kind of like so like a lot of the puzzles that were done earlier and a lot of the in either the other games or some of the other things we've done, some of the little community puzzles, some of the stuff that we posted on Twitter, that kind of stuff. Those are like really like tough puzzles because they had a basis in some kind of encryption cipher or some kind of, something that had basically a type of encryption or something in it.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them are like, were book ciphers, or some of them were, those kinds of things, and they were really, really difficult. And so a lot of the players that have been playing either the games that we put out or other players in this or other games in the same kind of vein, Age of Rust doesn't have any of those. So it's definitely going to mix things up a little bit, because I think the players that are looking for the book ciphers, or that are looking for like one-time pad ciphers or things like that, they're going to be thrown off their game, because if they're hunting for clues on how to solve those, yeah, they're gonna have those. So yeah.
Judging from what I am hearing, there's gonna be multiple dead ends in there.
Yeah, there's gonna be quite a few dead ends.
You dog. I'm gonna be having gray hair by the time of this game. I can see it already. They're like, Luke, you haven't been to the meetings. Luke, you haven't. Where you been, bro? If anybody doesn't know me by just my real name, it's Luke, but everybody else calls me Tendo. But if I disappear for weeks, it's because this game released. That's what's gonna happen. So just a heads up. I want the racing map. Hey, we might get it. You never know. Will you ever incorporate a Da Vinci style puzzle such as the Cryptax? Ooh.
It's kind of hard to put in.
Read his face, guys. I want to make sure he doesn't he's just I'm on to you. He doesn't want to give up too much. I'm on to you.
It's kind of hard to put in puzzles that are designed by others or that are really popular puzzles, because then people will kind of figure those out and kind of put those in. But a lot of the puzzles that are in the game definitely kind of have a style that follow like adventure games, or they're kind of they're Da Vinci Code kind of things. So they're kind of in that they're kind of in that vein, but I wouldn't say that they're exactly laid out in that same way. So yeah, it's kind of like you gotta look for the clues, and you gotta kind of follow where the clues lead you.
I see. So with that kind of being said, we're kicking off the race, by the way. 45 seconds. First, second, and third will get a Rust Mission 2 card, a Rust Mission 3 card, and a plasma gun. So these puzzles and everything, where did you draw inspiration from to come up with the ideas for your puzzles without giving away too much? Just kind of an idea.
So definitely, like a lot of lore that goes into the puzzles comes from a lot of interesting places. So a good example would be like, back in the 80s, a series of books came out called Mysteries of the Unknown from Time Life, and they have like a lot of lore to them. They have like a lot of mythology, a lot of myth. And so some of the things that relate to the narrative and the lore behind the puzzles comes out of those. So, an example might be like the story of the Mary Celeste, and how that particular thing might take place like in the far distant future, right? So that kind of leads to some of the storyline, some of the narrative, some of those things. But from the actual puzzle perspective, a lot of the actual puzzle perspective comes from playing past adventure games,
right?
Like the Sierra games and those kinds of things.
Nice. I mean, and it's so easy to draw inspiration on what once was and then evolve it. See, one of the first Easter eggs that ever dropped out came out in a game called Adventure. All right, if you guys aren't aware of that was an Atari game. And you got this little dot out of a wall towards the end of the game. And you had to bring that dot and drag it across all of these different walls to figure out where the gate was. Because when you first got the dot, you didn't know. You just like, why am I holding a dot? And then that next person comes through and like, well, there's got to be a purpose. And when they found the gate, which actually happened to be back towards the beginning of the game, when you walked into it, you found the developer's name because Atari didn't allow developers to put their name in the game. So he said, screw you, I'm doing it anyway. Because, well, Marble King 69, Ivan, Jackie, and Emperor, congratulations. So with that being said, that being the first Easter egg, everything kind of started to grow from that point. And it's evolved, it's changed, they certainly got a lot harder. Again, apologies for any buffering or anything, guys. Everything's still going on, but sorry. Seattleite gifted a tier 1 sub to Emperor. Thank you. Thank you very much for the love. So, I don't know. and I can go back and forth on this one. What's your favorite Easter egg you found in a game?
Wow.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
That's a tough one. The one that I can kind of remember that was pretty interesting was in a really old Sega game called Zillion, and it was kind of it had kind of like these platforms that you could like ride up and down, and it was kind of weird. Like if you ducked in the right area and you shot your gun multiple times and hit just off screen, you could like walk off screen and like walk into another room that you couldn't get to in any other way. So that was really cool.
Very cool. Seattleite, thank you so much for the sub. Ace coming in with that sub as well. Let's go, gang. Thank you very much for the support. That helps Zenzo out more than you guys will ever know. All right, we're going to go ahead and document these guys right here and get ready for the next race. Next race is going to have an Age of Rust MFT token for first. These are valued. These actually Age of Rust MFTs are valued at, let me find my sheet here, $30 a piece, and the reward levels are valued at about 25 bucks a piece. So congratulations on that, guys. All right, random track. Let's get to the next one. This is race 5 out of 11. How are we doing on time? We're doing good. Oh yeah, we're doing good time. We still got about an hour and a half left in the show. So, my favorite Easter egg. There was so many, but I think the one that held on to me the most was finding the developer's head in Doom.
Oh, wow.
You remember that one?
Yeah.
When you go in there and he has his head like on a pike?
Yeah.
That one right there was like, holy crap, they can do this in video games.
Yeah.
And you know, that led me to clicking on every wall. You know what I mean? I ended up finding, you know, all kinds of different stuff in the game, but when I found that one, I was like, that's so dope. I mean, of course, you know, back then, you know, the graphics may have been a little crude, but in my mind and at the age I was at, Doom was terrifying. So seeing that, I thought was really, really cool. All right, guys, we got the next race up. So if you have not typed !play, I suggest you do so now because we are kicking off the countdown. 45 seconds to jump in. Yes, dude, Age of Rust, we just got that Zenzo ecosystem. You guys are killing it today. Tendo, nice stream. Age of Rust looks good and can't wait to play. Neither can I. I am so ready to jump into that game and forget that the real world actually exists. I'm gonna be yelling at my wife, "Hey, bring me Hot Pockets." So we'll go into a little bit more the lore that you built into this game. What are some of your favorites that you've kind of built into it? I mean, because you're gonna have multiple because you have these different worlds. What planet and lore is by far your favorite?
You know, it's pretty interesting because it's like one of the I think some of the lore that I think that I like the best basically comes from kind of having spaceships that are kind of like either like abandoned and out there and just floating, and they kind of, you know, got a little bit of this, you know, mystery kind of aspect to it, right? Because you're kind of like, you know, what's happening, you know, what happened on that ship that, you know, that everybody, you know, is like missing or dead, or where are they, and you know, and what happened, and you know, so it's kind of like you're kind of having to like detect it, you know, be a detective, and you're kind of like trying to figure out kind of like the mystery behind it. So I definitely like the lore of like abandoned and lost ships, and that definitely plays into the game quite heavily at times. So that's kind of fun. I definitely like that. I definitely like that quite a bit.
See, I remember playing, oh god, Dead Space.
Yeah.
when Dead Space, I hate jump scare games. I hate them. I loathe them. I will never stream one because I don't want to look like a sissy on stream. But that game, it installed fear. And running up on, I usually can remember the name of the ship, but I can't remember it right now. It was just so like, what the hell am I about to get into? I have no idea. And I mean, this was before, you know, you got screenshots and, you know, the playthrough and everything else. This is when you're just going into the game and discovering the lore and the obelisks and all of these different things that tie into the game. And the anime was really good too, by the way. So that, and then getting to explore while constantly having to look over your shoulder because you don't know what kind of xenomorph is about to pop out. So yeah, that game was super dope. RJ had a question that I missed. I'm sorry about that, bud. What happened on the ship was 8 crewmates and 2 imposters. Oh god, we're not playing that game. What is that game that's popular right now?
Among Us?
Yeah, Among Us. That game to me actually spawned from the thing in StarCraft 1. You remember that? It was just like that. It was literally just like that game, but it was based in StarCraft. Okay, Adonis. Kermit the Hobbit getting his second win, and Marble King getting their second win. Congratulations, gang. Congrats. It's always cool. You gotta get a little bit of extra. Alright. So Adonis snagging that Age of Rust MFT. Kermit the Hobbit getting that gun. And like I said, guys, if you win double of something and you see something that you want that somebody else has that maybe they got a double, reach out to them. See if they'll trade with you. That's what these things are about. What's good of all the cards in the world if you just hold them to yourself? This ain't Monopoly. All right. Oh god, these teleporters on some of these tracks can just be insane. I said, does missing count in Pokemon Red? Oh, missing number. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Count as Pokemon. I guess it could be kind of an Easter egg, but it was more of a glitch that turned into an Easter egg. But as far as development goes, when glitches become features, you know what I mean? That just happens sometimes. So yeah, I'll go ahead. I'll allow it. I'll allow it. All right. So this will be my 8th MFTs. All right, we're resetting. It's linking back up now. I'm not happy with you right now, Internet. I'm displeased. Oh, it's getting rough. Stay solid. Come on. Am I back? Are we back, guys? I can't see it. The thing is just janky. I'm sorry. No, I wish it was Comcast. I have a little outwoods freaking internet connection that works on a hamster wheel. I'm supposing. But we're back. Everybody that's on the track is still on the track. I didn't race it yet. You still have a chance to get out. So you're good. Let me get this off this man's face. Alright. Elon Musk Skynet. I could use that. Get Urine B to power the wheel. That poor hamster. Yeah, I'm back here cracking the whip on him. He needs to hurry up. Alright guys, exclamation play. And that'll put yourselves out on the track. Is that saying 94 people up in here? Come on. Come on. There's room for everybody. We can put 500 people out on the track. Oh, no, 57. There we go. I thought there was something a little weird there. Alright, for the next race. This is race 6. We've got Age of Rust MFT, Plasma Gun, And an Age of Rust Mission 2 card for third. Oh, come on. You're going to do that to me again. It's also got to be the time of day, too. Okay. Okay. We're good. We're good. I'm going to hit the start button before something else starts freaking out. So you got 45 seconds to join in. So, is there anything that you want to tell these guys that people may not know about yet? With the Age of Rust quickly coming up to deployment, is there anything that you want to tell the viewers, and these are going to be your players as well, to either prepare for or look out for?
Yeah, I guess, you know, I guess the thing to be aware of, I think, you know, mostly is just to, you know, go into the game with quite a bit of patience and like take your time. The game definitely isn't like a fast pace, pick up your gun, start shooting at everything and run through it as fast as possible to get to the finish line. You're definitely going to want to take your time and, you know, look around and smell the roses in the game a little bit and try to take it all in, because that's where the, you know, the good stuff is in the details.
That's right. It's all in the details. So if you could give a rough estimate of just total things that you could find in the game. I was reading a little bit about it, like say there's a secret cave, and then there's only 10 people that would be able to get a prize out of it. And then after that, you'd be able to find it, but you wouldn't be able to get anything out of it. So if you could put into like kind of a rough number, what is in Age of Rust that you can find?
Boy, you know, I'm just like, I mean, I'm just trying to think. I mean, you know, if like, because some of the prize pools reset, so it's kind of like they re-pull back up. But there's definitely, yeah, I'm trying to think. I mean, I'm trying to think of like, you know, whether to put it in terms of like, you know, like engine value or whether to like put it in just like, you know, just raw numbers. But like, you know, there's, I want to say there's just, I mean, there's thousands of items. Wow. And there's like tens of thousands of dollars in you know, in engine coin, you know, like in the, you know, in the game in and of itself. So it's kind of like, you know, yeah, it's you know, it's quite a lot. All, you know, but all things being equal, it's kind of like, you know, there's definitely there's a lot in there, you know. But that's a good thing to, you know, that I should find out and you know.
Yeah, just because I mean, this is another cool thing about these shows. Sometimes you'll get the questions that haven't been asked yet, and then it's like, I can kind of harp on that one a little bit. So I mean, that's the idea. Just hearing that, I mean, the way that you set it up, it's just not one person gets it. They'll reset over time, and you know how it goes. One person can keep a secret, maybe two, but never three. No. So keep an eye out in their Discord where their chats start going, because you never know when one of those treasure hunters are going to be dropping off a little bit of info. Gonfer, Milan, and Lefevre. Congratulations on y'all's wins. Got a couple repeat offenders here. And just a big shout out to you, man, for throwing out all these prizes to be able to give to people, coming to the show, giving out that information, putting your face on, letting people know what you're all about, to be able to put some faith into this game that it's just going to be something more than just a cash grab. Because, and that's a topic that I tend to bring up a lot. A lot of games from blockchain to legacy gaming are out for the almighty dollar. When something is built for the love of the game, it tends to shine. And I think from what I have seen so far, there's not only that love of the game, but being a gamer yourself, you're building something, I call it like the Kevin Smith syndrome, building the thing that you want to see.
Yeah.
And, you know, after talking to you for a little while, I mean, I've gotten that love for what gaming is kind of coming from you, and I'm super excited to be able to see what that's going to play out like in the game.
Yeah, because it's kind of like, you know, it's one of these things where, you know, there's a lot there's a lot that's gone into the game for the community, and like a lot of the giveaways and things that we do, and the prizes and everything like that. It's, you know, it's more for the community than anything else, because I feel like, you know, our community has been with us since the beginning, you know, when we first kind of, you know, started talking about the game and started putting it together. And we've had some people that have been with us for a really long time. And I like, you know, I definitely like a lot of people to have fun. And I definitely like putting stuff out there for the gaming community and the blockchain gaming community in and of itself. And so, you know, to do that is really cool. So, you know, it definitely is a lot of fun. It is something that, you know, it's something that is personally important to me. So, you know, I like putting that stuff out there. I like everybody to have a good time.
Right. And see, that's the difference between Call of Duty 50 and a game like this. It's not the same thing that's been rehashed over and over and over again. It's something that's been well thought out, and it's taken decades of gameplay and game immersion to be able to put that into a vision. And I've got a lot of respect for that. As somebody who grew up in the gaming realm, I mean, I was a 90s kid. I got to see the transition from going to just text adventure to seeing it graphically play out. And with that being said, you know, like I just can't wait to get my freaking hands on it. I mean, even if I don't find a damn thing in the game, like, it's not about that. It's about going through it and finding and cracking the puzzles and being like, hey, I got it. You know what I mean? So it's pretty dope.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're saying, because it's kind of like, you know, I mean, as you know, as an indie game developer, it's kind of like, you know, you could easily, you know, I mean, at the game development shows, you know, Steam has its whole like presentation and everything like that. So yeah, I mean, as a game developer, I mean, you go into the games knowing what sells and what does not sell, and you know, adventure titles aren't at the top of the Steam sales thing for building a game as it is, you know. So it's kind of like, you know, going into this, I'm not going into this to, you know, necessarily, mine players' wallets, for gameplay on something like this, because it's just, it's for me, it's about.
It's just not what it's about.
Yeah, it's not what it's about at all. I mean, if it would be far easier to, build a, Clash of Clans, Fortnite, kind of.
Do we really need another one? No. Now, see, that's the thing is like Fortnite. I got it. They came out, they did something original, but they were taking off basis of something that another game may have done, and that's okay. They made it their own. Right. But we don't need 10 or 15 more. Like, we really just don't. We need something that's going to go beyond. We need something that's going to break those barriers of what gaming is, because it's evolved so much from when we began to where we are now, that the newer generations playing these games have expectations that aren't necessarily realistic. They're thinking it's like, okay, if I just get into this, I can play it for a little bit and then move on. This is not that game. You're going to have to put the elbow grease into it. You're going to have to put the work in. If not, you're not going to get where you want, because it's not going to allow you. And with a lot of these other games, like I was saying, with aim assist and everything else, you don't have to be the best player. You just have to plug it up and go. But the one that spent, 10 hours, 15 hours a day on it, they're going to have that skill to take on anybody. So when you get into the game, like he was saying, take your time. Build what's your knowledge base, keep notes, do all the things that I used to do as a gamer when I was young. back when we were doing it, in all of the game like instructions, there was always a notebook in the back. And like I remember playing Wizards and Warriors on Nintendo. That was by far, and still by far, one of my favorite games. And it had a few little Easter eggs and stuff in it like that, but it was knowing where to go, what item to get. It was like Castlevania. Where's the meat in the wall? Because I'm about to fight Dracula and it's about to get Hood. So yeah, it's nice seeing that that love and that dedication being carried over into games coming out these days, and especially coming to blockchain. And Little Owl, my dear, congratulations on first place. And it looks like Luigi Lemon getting their win, coming in second. Kakaios, he's on the Zenzo team, so if he wins, we're not gonna count that one. Sorry, Kakaios. It's just part of. Well, I don't know. Gonfer just passed him up. At the last minute, Gonfer comes in. Congratulations, they are just won an Age of Rust Mission 1 card for first, Plasma Gun for second, and a Rust Mission card 3 for third. Little Owl, she's one of our regulars, and a good friend. She good people. Glad she got a win. Alright. So, are you going to be losing sleep that some people probably aren't going to leave their computer for days on end?
Yeah, you know, it's kind of like it's kind of like, you know, it's definitely one of those things that's kind of like, you know, you definitely you want people to play, you want people to have a challenge, you want people to have a good time, but you don't want it to be something that, like, you know, like negatively
all consuming.
Yeah, you know, and it's kind of like when the pre-alpha came out, you know, I forgot who it was, but somebody had told me that they had been playing like 40 hours straight to win the, you know, to win the prize that you got at the end of the level, you know, and it's just kind of like, okay, like, you know, like I appreciate somebody, you know, spending their time, effort, and energy to, you know, to go into the game and to, you know, and to play that long. But at the same time, it's kind of like, okay, you know, make sure you take breaks, you know, like,
yes,
like spend some time outside,
drink
you know,
water, eat,
right.
get some vitamins in your life, because we don't want to see a news report, man dies from malnourishment because he refused to leave the computer playing Age of Rust. That is not a headline we want to see.
No. So it's kind of like, you know, it's definitely, you know, I mean, I definitely have, you know, concerns around, you know, people making sure that, you know, that they, you know, take everything with a grain of salt, you know, in terms of, like, you know, in terms of gameplay, and that they, you know, definitely, you know, have a healthy gaming lifestyle, you know, while they're playing the game, you know, and that's kind of why, you know, it's a little bit why I kind of like put that, you know, warning on the web page. It's kind of like, hey, you know, like the, you know, the spirit of the game is that it's meant to be, you know, that it's meant to have fun. It's meant to be, you know, entertaining in the, you know, but at the same time, you know, I realize that some players are definitely going to want to, you know, go for the treasure hunt. You're definitely going to want to, you know, spend time in, you know, in just, you know, getting into every aspect of the game, which is great, but, you know, you definitely want it to be a healthy experience too.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, I mean, and that's just a good lesson. Too much of anything is bad.
Yeah.
Gaming is a great thing, but it has to be respected as anything else that you do in this life. Too many cheeseburgers will kill you. It's a fact. Salt, too much salt, it'll kill you. Too much sugar, it'll kill you. It's just that way. So just keep that in mind, because if you're sitting in your gamer chair for 20 hours, chances are you're developing a blood clot. Get up and go out. We don't need anybody streaming with some kind of, you know, graveyard tan, hasn't seen the outside, somebody comes in the door, they hiss at them. You know, we don't need that. All right, we got a few people coming out onto the track. Race 8, ladies and gentlemen. All right, after this, we have 3 more races for our finale. We've got an hour left in the show, so we're going to break those up a little bit and give everybody time to get in. For this next one, we have an Age of Rust MFT token. Second, we'll be getting the plasma gun, and third, we'll be getting a Rust Mission 2 card. So get it out on the track, gang, so you can come win. So these next 3 races are the big ones. All right. So those are the ones that if you have all of this other stuff, this is probably what you've been waiting on. And if I was the one that was going to be potentially winning 1,300 in a BTC, I'd be going to get that Origin card. So if you want to go look that up in OpenSea, you'll see what I'm talking about. Because it's got a nice little penny that's attached to it. So when you were developing these cards and these cards that are going to be coming out in the future, the idea that they unlock the capabilities of the game, I find is kind of unique. Instead of, just getting everything, you have to kind of collect these at the time to unlock the potential of the game. Are a lot of these cards that would give you the next mission available to earn in the game?
Yeah, so there's definitely, there's definitely some of that's, built into the game, because a lot of the basis of the game was token controlled access, right? So there's definitely is, quite a bit,
Thanks, Chiz.
quite a bit in there for, for players to have the capability to, to leverage something that they've won in the game to get them into the next, to get them into the next level, right? So. Right. Because there's only a limited amount of the mission tokens available, so it's kind of like for players to basically be able to get those, they either have to win them in the game, right, or they have to basically get them from somebody else in the community who already owns them from way back when when we released them. For the earlier text adventure game. Right. So it's kind of like, they've got to be able to kind of collect, trade, and kind of, get it in there, or win it by solving an earlier puzzle. Yeah.
Nice. All right, guys, this next race is going to be for the Age of Rust MFT token to get the beta access. The second is going to be the APG M55 plasma gun, and third will be an Age of Rust Mission 2 cards. And if you get a hold of these, I suggest you hold on to them, because you don't know how difficult, just like he said, these will not, there's only a limited amount. If you're a Magic the Gathering player, if you had a Black Lotus card, you know what you got. You may not know what you're getting here in this show today. So until you do, wait for the game to come out. Just wait. Because everything I've been grabbing and getting, I ain't letting go. You're going to have to fight me for them. And I'm from Texas. I'm armed. So don't do that. Weak hands fold. That's right, B-Man. That's right. Don't be a pleb. Nobody likes a pleb. So, with the community and everything else, have you seen a lot of hype come building up for the game recently?
Yeah, I mean, there definitely is, and it's kind of interesting too, because it's kind of like, I really haven't gone out of my way to advertise the game through like traditional channels, right? Like I'm not running I'm not running Twitter ads, I'm not running Facebook ads. I'm just kind of, I'm just kind of going by community word of mouth, and when folks like you and I connect, things like that, because to me, it's more authentic, and at least I think it is, because it's about something real, and not something that it's like I'm trying to, that I'm trying to hype to be inauthentic to the community and to the blockchain gaming community, right. And it's kind of like I want it to be a fun game, and I definitely want it to be something that players are excited about, and I definitely know there are players that are excited about, I get a lot of messages from people who are dying for the game to come out, get their hands on that, right? Who want to get their hands on some of the tokens and some of the things. And so, it's really exciting.
That love is so evident in because, you know, a lot of people, like I was talking about earlier, you know, there's room for profits. There's room to make money in this, but there's also a way to go about it. This is one of the levels I was telling people about. Good luck, everybody. And, you know, it's such a refreshing thing to know that not only a game with that love and that drive is being made, it's also being presented on the blockchain, which is something I hold dear. I grew up in arcades. You know, I was a little Coke bottle glasses kid with buck teeth. Wasn't no good at sports, didn't have a whole lot of friends. But when I was in that arcade, I was equal. It did not matter how big you were. It didn't matter how fast you were. If I was better at the game, I could beat you. And that is something that has died with video games. Yes, there's scoreboards. Yes, there's leaderboards and stuff like that. But there's always a hacker. There's always somebody who's doing this. There's always somebody doing that. And when you do that, you sacrifice something that is bigger than what people realize. You're distorting what the game is supposed to be. And I'm hoping that with new games like yours and, you know, the ones that we're coming out with, inspire the next developer to put that heart into a game, so we start seeing libraries be built based on the idea that a game is more than just a cash grab. Because it is. It's something we hold dear, because it was something that was there for us that maybe when nobody else was. And just like I was telling you earlier, somebody from the outside who never plays games may not understand it. You live in one world, that's fine. But I live in hundreds. And that, to me, is something worth protecting. It is just as important to me as blockchain itself.
Yeah.
So seeing the two come together and making something truly stellar, I can't freaking wait. Why did this map have to come up? Yeah, this is the worst map. There's a good chance everybody will die except for Cryptop. Never mind. We have a winner. Cryptop gets the first one here. I might, if nobody else wins this, I might roll these other prizes into the next race, because we're kind of moving ahead of time and I want to make sure that we can get these prizes out. We'll see. We'll see. We only have one winner. So, when I started this, I said if one person wins, which I knew this freaking map would come to bear, we were going to omit the other prizes. But I'm going to go ahead and put in an extra race so we can get rid of these other two items. Hey, I wing it, baby. That's just how we do it. So, the winner of that one is Cryptop. The one and the only winner. Rip everybody else. Can I get an F in chat for all the fallen? Only one survivor. So, we will race for the APG Plasma Gun and the Age of Rush Mission 2 cards on the next race. There will only be 2 winners. Okay? So, first and second. Got it? Got it. On to the next. Rip. All right, we'll have more than 2 survivors in this one, I believe. We're making good time, so it's good. Might not just have to throw in an extra race. Why not? So this will be race 10 now. This will be race 11. And this one will be race 12. I got all this documented too, B. So just if anything needs to be changed, we'll handle it here later. All right. So guys, I hope everybody's enjoying the show so far. Like I said, we do this every end of the month of the last Saturday. We always have great guests like this man you're seeing right here. Also, we hold a race on Sundays called Marble Madness Sundays, where you have a chance to come out and play marbles for a little bit of Z&Z. That starts at 10 p.m. Central Standard Time. I know Daylight Savings is coming up. That show goes for 2 hours. So if you guys want to come hang out, see what we're kind of kicking off, come hang out. All right. Marbles is fun, and the more you have on the track, the funner it gets. The only bad thing is that I can't win. Nah. Somebody's got to make the sacrifice. I'm just gonna wait a minute. I'm gonna make a guy called Not Tendo and start racing. Coffee and marbles, indeed, sir. Indeed, which I'm out of. But hey, got my Rick and Morty.
Nice.
Got my Rick and Morty coffee mug there. Oh, it was such a good show, wasn't it?
Oh yeah.
All right. All right, guys, we've got 43 out of the track. Remember, only first and second will be winning on this race, and we're going to kick it off right now. 45 seconds to get in, and may the odds be forever in your favor. That lady was creepy in that movie. What was it?
Yeah.
Hunger Games? Dude.
Yeah.
Ugh. No. Oh, my cat's attacking the door like, you never keep me out. Not today, Vegeta. Not today. Yes, my cat's name's Vegeta. He's a jerk, so I figured I'd name him Vegeta. So, when, with the games and everything that's coming on the outside of your own, what are you playing right now?
So right now I'm working my way kind of back through the Uncharted series.
Ooh.
So I'm it's kind of fun to kind of go through and play that. So
Mm-hmm.
so I'm going through that right now. I'm also I also started just firing up what's it called? I'm trying to think of the name of it right off the top of my head. Last of Us.
Yes.
So yeah. So a lot of these are games that just like they, even though they came out like a few years ago, they've just kind of been like sitting on the shelf, and I just I haven't had a chance to like go through and like play them. So
Mhm.
it's kind of like if I get a little bit of spare time, I crack them open and pop them in and.
What is like? I want to touch on Uncharted a little bit because I played Bionic Commando a lot as a kid, and when I saw that grappling hook, that was the first thing I thought about. But what game do you always find yourself going back to?
From a playability standpoint, it's kind of like one of the games that I've gone back to a few times to kind of like, just to have a good time in, just play, or a lot of the older like console, the older series console games like, like the Genesis, and playing games like Phantasy Star, things like that, like time, like
Yeah.
because now now you can play them on mobile, right?
Yeah.
So there's
Have
also like a block sliding game that that I play on
Yeah.
on mobile, which is kind of fun. It's just like something just to like relax the mind and just playing, right? But,
Yeah.
A lot of times I'll go back to those old Sega Genesis games. Yeah.
I do. I've got my Sega, and it's so funny that you mentioned Phantasy Star because they released the other Phantasy Star Online too, not too long ago, and that is one of those games that's really nice, but I feel like it can be really overwhelming just from the amount of stuff that is in the game.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a fine line there. You know what I mean? Is it, and this is something I guess I can ask you. Do you find that sometimes less is more in a video game like that? Or do you just constantly bombard people with the next mission or an item that you need to upgrade or the next thing to where it just gets mind-boggling?
Yeah, it's kind of interesting that you bring that up because from a gameplay perspective, it's kind of like a lot of people stopped playing Fallout 3, right? Because of all the side quests.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think I think in some cases less and less is more, because you can only dungeon crawl for so long and have so many dungeon crawl experiences and quests that do dungeon crawling. And finally it's just kind of like, you can only, at least me, right? Like, I definitely know that there's players out there who can, who enjoy upgrading every last arrow to the,
Yeah.
to gilding every arrow and, imbuing it with special powers and going on quest after quest after quest, and drop, 4, 5, 6, 700 hours into a game to do that. And there are those players that I'm not one of them, right?
Right.
So yeah, I think in some cases less is more.
Not Tendo just followed. Damn it, guys. Stop listening to me. Adonis and Captain DJ, congratulations on that win. All right, guys. Now, these next 3 races change. First place, 5,000 Rust Bits up for grabs. Give us a little information on what the Rust Bits are.
Yeah, so Rust Bits were kind of our early crowdfunding token that, is something that basically we, started building in to have as not only rewards for players, but also the first use case for it was when we had the first mission cards that came out that were included in the text that we used in the text adventure.
Mm-hmm.
The cards were basically sold for Rust Bits initially, so you had to have your Rust Bits available to get the mission cards initially. And then when we moved off of Counterparty, we basically reminted those over on Ethereum, and then had I created a website and token wizard that allowed players to migrate their Counterparty tokens over to Ethereum. And so now we have the Rust Bits site on Ethereum. We gave the community, a year to come on over from the Counterparty side over to the Ethereum side. Right. And after that, we had to lock it off, so that way, because Rust Bits kind of have their own kind of like micro economy. So we didn't want somebody coming in later who didn't migrate, and they're all of a sudden, hey, I still got these, I've got this, I've got all these Rust Bits over in the Counterparty side. I want to bring them over to the Ethereum side. So, at some point we had to close the door on that. Yeah. But we, made sure that we got the word out on every social media chain that we were on, sent as much notification out as possible to bring players on.
No.
But yeah,
a going year forward was long. So, I mean, that's instead of like, hey, you got 2 weeks, and you had a year.
Yeah. I mean, we definitely tried to give players as much time, as possible, to get those Rust Bits and bring them over onto the Ethereum side. So yeah, but going forward, I definitely wanted to give players the ability to, people that had Rust Bits to buy the game and to buy the game items, for Rust Bits. So, yeah. That was important for the community, important for the project. So definitely wanted to, keep that going in. Right. And, they're also used as, rewards within the game too. So
cool. Well, thank God you got off the Counterparty wallet. Jesus.
That was tough because, I mean, it was necessary for the project. Mm-hmm. Because, Counterparty had a very strong following and they loved us. Yeah. Because like not only did the Counterparty community love us, but the Counterparty project loved us as well. Mm-hmm. Because we built a fun little game on top of it, and people had a lot of fun playing it. We had, I want to say, a little over 5,000 players in the text adventure.
Oh wow.
For the Counterparty community, it was a lot of fun. Leaving that community was tough. It was a really, really tough decision. I dragged my feet on it for a long time because it was kind of like I didn't want to leave anybody behind. Yeah. I definitely bring over as many people as possible, but the only way that the project could succeed going forward was to put it on Ethereum.
Yeah.
You know, so for for us, it was just kind of like, for the design of the game, what I wanted to do, where it needed to go,
Hmm.
it had to move off of Counterparty. It just couldn't survive on there. So
Right.
yeah, it was,
So it was
it
just it was a bittersweet kind of separation because it was they'd given you so much up until that point, and it was just kind of hard to walk away from that. No, that's I can
was,
understand that.
it was really tough because I mean, Counterparty is a great community of folks who are there, and who support the projects and who work hard to build services for it. But it was a bridge too far for too many players to 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 onboard a player who is not completely familiar with cryptocurrency. Very, very, very
Mondo,
difficult.
cool.
That's a tough ladder for a lot of people to climb.
Yeah.
So
Night Falcon, thank you for the sub and the follow. Much appreciated. All right, guys, we're going into the next race. So we got a question. Chiz, let's see. So what going to say about that? I feel if Fallout 76 is going to die soon, then most people might start playing crypto games just to make a bit money back off old games. It could happen. See, that's something that, in our camp we're looking at. We want to be able to plug into legacy games and maybe fill in some of the gaps that they're having a hard time filling. Once the crypto side of things start getting out and people start to realize that their items have value, they're going to start walking away from some of the other games that are just taking their money because there's an alternative. Up until this point, as gamers, we've never had the option. We've been using cryptocurrency for years because we've bought the in-game currencies and stuff like that, but it's been a one-way street. And that's what we as developers, both us and Chris, we're trying to change that. We're trying to introduce something for your time. There's value in that. And when you put time into the game and you dedicate yourself to being the best, there should be something coming back to you. And that's what we're aiming to do. So, this next race, we've got 5,000 Rust Bits up for first, a Plasma Gun up for second, and Age Rush Mission 3 cards coming in third. You guys ready? Let's kick it. 45 seconds to the next race. Good luck, gang. Me equals breaking forge several times. Yes, it's part of it. You've got to break some eggs before you make something. I could only imagine some of the madness that you went through, not even including changing chains.
yeah.
I could only imagine. I mean,
Yeah.
there's got to have been some bugs that snuck up on you out of that were just like, oh god, no.
Blockchain migration for any project is tough. I wouldn't wish it on anybody.
Yeah.
At all. Yeah, it's definitely, but yeah, I mean, some of the stuff that we use to build the game in Unity is pretty advanced.
Mhm.
To achieve the look and the feel of the game, and to put everything that I want into the game and build in a lot of the blockchain aspects. Yeah, there were some really nasty bugs earlier on. Yeah.
And that's the part that a lot of people don't see. As gamers, we have a responsibility to let game developers and stuff know if we find bugs, but we don't hold guns to their heads, guys. I have seen some people in chat that on like Steam and stuff on some of the things, like these guys owe them something when they've clearly defined what they were creating, what they were putting out, and people want to go on this witch hunt. It's not necessary. If the developers are true, they're going to listen to their community and they're going to work on that. So before you start casting stones, have some empathy. Put yourself in their shoes. If it's a one-man team, really hold your tongue a little bit, because that one person has probably put years into this. And if enough people wipe their shoes on it, that's when even the best developers will walk away. Because it's hard. You're not going to sign up for getting punched in the face every day. You're not. So have some empathy. Come with constructive criticism. Be saying like, this would be better if this, or how can I help in this? Do you need a mod? Just be there for them. But I mean, if they have a 50-man team and they're called Bethesda and they spent 5 years to make something like just straight garbage, by all means, get your pitchforks and your torches. You know what I mean? Let them know that this crap won't stand. Yeah, that's for y'all to decide. But like I'm saying, these small indie development teams have put a lot of love into some of their games. And when you get that kind of feedback, it can be really disheartening. So try to lift people up. Don't beat them down so much. But like I said, if they're out there for a cash grab, by all means, do what you got to do. Let them know that that won't stand either. Because we are the gamers. We are that community. Just like we got elections going on right now, we make the decisions. As with our money, with our presence, with our time. So, keep that in mind. All right. Kermit getting first place with a 5,000 Rust bits. We got Paul getting second and Gomfer getting third. I think that is your third win there, Gomfer. I hope you got all separate cards. Congrats. I think Kermit's out of your camp. I think he hangs out in your Discord.
Could be, yeah.
So what say you, Kermit? Oh God, really? Buffering? Come back. Okay, we're back. All right, let's see. Okay, fine. My input, Tendo, grow a mullet. I don't want to grow a mullet. Too pretty for a mullet. Do you have any alternative plans if ETH gases keep increasing or fails to improve transaction speeds? I hope Engine Affinity comes with a solution soon, but any alternative plans do you have?
Yeah, so it's pretty interesting. So one of the initial designs for the game basically had the ability for players to buy the games a la carte inside the game. And one of the things that I had to change recently was that capability, because the a la carte way of getting something right now with gas fees and with Ethereum the way that it is just didn't make sense.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's kind of like it would have been
cool.
a transaction for each item in the game, and it just would have been way too expensive, and it just the gas fees just didn't make sense. So yeah, so I definitely had to make some changes to the design of the game, so that way it didn't follow that path anymore for transactions in the game. But in terms of like long term, yeah, the scaling solution that Engine is rolling out, which is called Affinity, definitely lowers that transaction cost significantly. It puts it back into the sub-cent category.
Perfect.
Of able to send tokens, and so that that changes the whole kind of not only the player-to-player aspect, but game to player aspect design for the for the game, and it makes it puts that scalability issue back in the box. Yes. Rather than kind of on the murder table where it is right now.
Well, we've all paid high gas fees in prime time. It's happened to every single one of us if we've used the ETH chain. We know what goes on, and we know how much of a mythical beast ETH 2.0 is. And it's nice that Engine is addressing it in their own way, because that's something that we hold dear in our own camp. It should not cost an arm and a leg for me to be able to transfer an item either between a player or into a game. And some of them that you get the item in the game, then you have to sign a contract for it to be able to interact with the game, then you have to make the transaction for it to go into the game, and then you have to get it out of the game by doing the same thing in reverse without having to sign the contract because you've already signed it. But then you have to transfer it to wherever it's got to go. and then you got to sell it or trade it or do whatever. There is literally an exchange of money 5 times before, and it's not okay. That has to be grown on, and I'm glad that they're addressing that.
Yeah, because it's just it's for the gaming community, for blockchain gaming, in general, it's obviously it's a huge issue, and you've seen all the different blockchain games, try to come up with their own ways to kind of address, how how best to deal with that, not only in terms of their game design, but also for their players as well. So I think each game is kind of tackling it in their own way. But absolutely, I mean, to ding the player's wallet time and time and time again just isn't right. That in of itself, now imagine trying to bring in somebody who's new to blockchain gaming, right? Who hasn't, they're kind of like, well, yeah, but all of a sudden they're spending, they're spending $60 on gas to get, to get items for a game. That it's just not,
the punishment does not justify the means in no shape or form.
Yeah.
So we've got a little bit of a shill here from us in the Zenzo camp because, well, I always like talking about what we've been working on, and even Plunk said a little bit of Zenzo Forge, open source, 0 third-party fees for crafting, smelting, transferring unique ZFIs backed by a Z&Z value. Zenzo Core, proof of stake, dedicated gaming blockchain. That had a nice little roll off it. Well done, man. Well done. I mean, and that's the thing. It's like, oh, they're Ethereum. Beat them up. It's not like that. If you're making something positive in the space, I don't care if you run off Trump coin. Which was a real coin back in 2017, by the way. As long as you're building something worth building, get it. Yeah. I don't care how we get there, because we're all going to get there together. There is more than enough room for us to share the block. There is a reason that Burger King and McDonald's ain't attacking each other, because some days you want a different flavor.
Right.
And that's the idea. Let's see. I want to stack up F1 car NFTs. It will cost me $7 to do so much that have a few cars not stacked at the moment. All right. Hello, sir. We would like to register the bullet trajectory. Please sign this transaction to confirm. Then we can confirm if it's a hit or miss. Tendo, have you heard about Ethereum 2.0 going to be proof of stake? Yes, I actually heard it was going to proof of stake like 2 years ago. We'll see, said the blind man falling off the cliff. They'll get it. They'll get it. When Fork Zenzo. No, B. It's too early. It's too early. Are you okay, Tendo? No, not Tendo. I'm not, because I have a doppelganger now and it's freaking me out. All right, guys, next race. This is it. It's starting to get a little juicy. 500 engine for first place. That, my friends, is worth $70 in value. This can also get you some of those fancy little items we've been talking about on today's show. So don't go out and dump them. You trade them for Age of Rust cards. Do it. Do it. And I'm going to get the first Easter egg, so don't try to beat me. So, we've got 500 engine coins for first, Age of Rust Mission 1 cards for second, and a plasma gun token for third. Alright, guys, we've got 50 people on the track. I'm going to start the countdown. Let's get it. Okay, I'll try now. Lucky Richard using his 4th GPU mining Ethereum, getting it. Yes, the engine that we are going to be giving out on the next race is worth $70. So, wait till y'all get a load of the next race. You're really going to crap your khakis. Guys, it's always such an honor to host these shows. Having great guests like Chris on, it's why we do what we do. These are the things that are worth highlighting. I hope that you guys get the game when it comes out. Put it on your wish list now, because when it does go out, I'm not wasting any time. I'm going to get mine in the game. So I hope that y'all go out there with me, and we'll be hanging out in the Discord together, trading information when we can. Not too much, because I'm not giving you any in my hands. So we both talked a little bit about Ready Player One a little bit. You got to kind of get into the book. I've been into the book. I've read it multiple times as well as you. So with that kind of being said, if you guys haven't heard of it, it's a movie. It's as well as a book. But what made the book very special is that it paid a certain homage to games of yesterday, where it came from, where it was going, the music, the culture, the standing behind a machine and pumping quarters in and playing until your fingers were in blisters. All of those things were evident in that. And when I got to talk to Chris for the first time, he had James Halliday's feel to it. He was one of the main protagonists in the book, and Halliday's Easter egg is what the whole book was about. And it took years for these to be found, to the point that people started to fall off. Don't forget what the hunt's about. It's more than money. It is something that has been going on for generations now. And this is going to be the latest homage to that. And I hope to catch you guys on the inside there. All right, let's see who's going to get it. Little Owl catching first place. Congratulations, growing them wings. Way to go, hun. Sad Blast catching second, and Jeepers Creepers getting third. Well done. Well done. This one has too many spinny things. I know, Mad Ed. That's your kryptonite. He doesn't like the spinny things. This one was pretty rough. Owl again. Owl again. This is that really good first place. Congrats. Little Owl is one of our regulars here. She's had some tough races in the last couple weeks. She hadn't had it, but she made it. You made it happen when it counts the most. All right, Little Owl. Let's see. Second, Sabblast. Sublast. I can't pronounce stuff. Bear with me, gang. I got Lysdexia. There's a joke in that if you can't figure it out. Jeepers Creepers. That's a perfect time of year for that name.
Yeah.
He only comes out after so many years to race marbles and win NFTs. All right. So, the moment you folks have all been waiting for has come. The next race has a grand prize of 0.1 BTC and 500 Zenzo. That is over $1,300 in value. If you are going to put it on the track, this is going to be the time to do it. Second place will be getting something as soon as I get my piece of paper out. Well, goodness. I can't keep up with my own stuff here. Did I drop it? Oh, I was looking right at it. Second place is going to get an Age of Rush Mission 2 card, and third will get an Age of Rush Mission 3. Remember, if you get double cards, there are other people that may be getting them too. They might just trade for that mission card. So, go to these guys' Discord, reach out, say, hey, I got 2 of these and I want to get it for a different mission one. I guarantee you somebody in that community is going to jump on it. What do you say about that, bud?
Yeah,
Think
absolutely.
so?
Yeah.
I think so too. All right. It's time. 2:37 in the show. We're making great time. We're going to let everybody take enough time to get out on the track. We're going to kick this final race off at 2:45. So it gives everybody enough time to get in that final race. I appreciate everybody coming out today, learning about Age of Rust. I hope you guys are excited as I am. I have never just completely fangirled over a game in a very long time, but I am more, and I will be flat out honest, I am more hyped about this game than I am Cyberpunk. I said it. I said it. It's always the ones you don't see the commercials for that you want to get in on.
It's true.
Just saying. It's been that way forever, though, hasn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
It's the ones that you hear in the grapevine from your friends that are like, oh, man, this is cool. But you won't see it on mainstream.
That's exactly. It's like, oh, hey man, I'm playing this game. Like you gotta come play this game with me, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I remember playing like some of the super hard games back in the day, like Rambo. Like I was hell bent on beating that game. How I did, I have no idea. It was just sheer perseverance. It wasn't that great of a game, but it was just one of those I had to beat. Be sure to join the Age of Rust community. There is a link to their Discord. And join ours as well. There's a link to ours. Guys, if you win a prize, you have to get in contact with us. We will not reach out to you. We do not DM first. Come to our Discord. The link is right there. Message Mr. URNB. He will get you taken care of. So, this next race we have about 5 more minutes to kick it. We've got 70 people hanging out here in the Twitch. If you've not followed, that is the only thing I will ever ask you to do, because when we release news and stuff like that, it will be on this channel. So smash that button, and we will catch you on Sundays for our Marble Madness show to give your chance to win a little ZNZ. There are some people that have been playing it long enough, they've almost got a Master Node.
Wow.
That
That's
is
pretty
how
good.
long they've held and played. It's amazing to me. And I mean, last Sunday I missed it. I had gotten sick. It was not coronavirus. I could taste things. I just had a stomach bug, and I had stayed up all night. I don't know if it was something I ate, but man, for 3 days it was a little rough. Thank you everybody for the follows. It's much appreciated. Almost is overrated. Shut up, Mad. Mad's one of our trolls. It's kind of like my disconnected little brother. Did I get anything last race I did not see? Unfortunately, RJ, no, you did not catch anything on the last race. You know you don't ever win anything to the last race anyway. He was actually one of our first checkpoint grand prize winners. He actually, he was going through a little bit of a hard time. He wanted to get the Star Wars game that was coming out at the time, which happened to be part of our grand prize. And he told me, he was like, I'm not going to be able to get this game now, and it sucks. And he's a big Star Wars fan. Came to the show and won it. I thought that was super dope.
That's really cool.
Yeah. Some of the gamer gods were paying attention that day. They were like, he is worthy. Make it so. One of many. Okay, I need to win this, baby. I didn't get any yet. Hey, Mad, you know how it goes when you don't win any for a little while. Sometimes it's time. And I think this is going to be a good track. I don't know how positive Shattered Dreams sound, but that's the name of the track. I think this might actually be kind of appropriate for this race. All right, let's see. All right, guys, we've got 3 minutes. 3 minutes. If you guys aren't in it, we've almost got 80 people in the stream now. Type exclamation play for your chance to win 0.1 BTC and 500 ZNZ. It is time. It is time. Not a great name for me. Where are you going? I'm
going to question.
okay, baby. I love you. Boop. Bye, baby. It's my daughter. I will break a show for that kid. I love her. She's a little Tindet. She's going to be a streamer one of these days when she grows up. She just doesn't know yet. I can afford 261 more highlighted messages. 2 minutes, gang. 2 minutes. Wah, cringe moment there. Hey, get over it. You know what, Kermit? You don't get to win. Everybody else but Kermit can win. This is my show. I can make the rules. No, I'm just kidding. This is actually Zinzo's show. I'm just the host. No, Kermit, you're still in the run. You need to add some more rewards? Oh, excuse moi. It's my show. No, RJ, it's not. It's not. Oh God, this song. It's like some ambient background music. Just kind of. We used to play a certain song at the end of the shows, but then we started getting stricken down with copyright issues, so we don't do that anymore.
That's a bummer.
It is. And now you'll get booted off of Twitch for it. 3
Really?
strikes, you're out.
Wow.
Woke and broke. Alright, guys. Here it is. 1 minute out. Is your marble on the track? We've got 60 people. Well, 59. Almost 60 people out on the track. This is close to a record for our shows. I want to say thank you for everybody coming out. Chris, you've been an excellent guest, brother.
Oh, thanks. I appreciate it, man. Thanks for having me.
And we're going to have a little 15-minute Q&A at the end of the show. So if you have any questions that you want to throw at Mr. Chris before we take off, that'll be the time to do it. All right, gang. It's time. I'm going to kick off the countdown. 45 seconds. Good luck. Appreciate everybody coming to hang out today. This has been a hell of a checkpoint. I'm excited, and I'm not even in the running. Chris, we love having you on, man. First and not the last. Hey, you never know. You might want to come back over to a future little checkpoint if you do any updates to the game. Might have to bring you back on.
Sounds like a plan.
Very cool. 15 seconds. Pray for the almighty lemon. Pray to the almighty potato. See, remember what I was telling you about the potato overlord? Here, it's starting to show its head. That's my followers. That's the potato followers there. All right. This is it. 60 people on the track. It's a long one, too. This is going to be a nail biter, guys. I'm not going to mention anybody's names until the race is over because I am not putting the curse on anybody. That's kind of an ongoing thing. If I mention anybody's name during the race, they're guaranteed to die. Sadly, it's like that. Yeah, my kid texts me 3-4 times. Sorry. I want to say the name too because that one's cool. It's anybody's race though. There is a whole lot of track. We've got poppers, we've got spinny things. Anything can happen here.
Wow.
What was that? Restart. In order to win, you got to be on the track. We gave about 7 or 8 minutes for everybody to get a chance. A lot of these folks have sat through this entire show for this opportunity. Ooh, Miaz took a dive. Sorry to see you go, but oh God. Twit gets hit by the popper. Big beef patty. Oh God. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say your name. I didn't mean to. Oof. Got some of the old winners that are coming up in here. We got, I don't know who's going to get this. This is it. This is it right here. No. Oh, Donner May gets yeeted at the last second. Little Owl. Neck and neck with Kermit. Holy damn. That came down to the wire, and I thought somebody else was going to get it, and they got yeeted. Owl, out of all the times you said your wings have been broken, congratulations on being the grand prize winner of the Checkpoint Level 11. My dear, holy crap. You just won 0.1 BTC, as well as 500 ZNZ. Bravo. Bravo. Well, this is the most luck I've had in months. I know. I talk to you on a regular basis. The fact that you got this one is awesome. She's had her share of tough times. So this will definitely help her. And I'm super glad that she's going to have the chance. And I know she's a solid gamer. I've played games with her. So I expect to see you in the Age of Rust world as well. Guys, I've got some winners to document here. And then we can go into the Q&A section of the show. Oh my God, my heart. My heart was racing for that one, man. All right, little owl. 3 solid wins today. Anybody's game, and you got it. Kermit did well today, too. You sewed a few up. And Choo Choo. Choo Choo Train 4. All right. Choo Choo Train 4. That's our winners. That's it. All prizes have been given out. And we have come to the conclusion. Checkpoint level 11 with the Age of Rust. Chris. The mind behind Age of Rust. So, as we come into our closing, I want everybody to kind of open up any questions that Chris may need, so he can help improve his game or have suggestions for his game. If there's anything that you want to throw out, this is time. I have, doesn't it? It's like a fake Tinder profile. Wait, what? Our studio? Win Age of Rust hat.
Oh, yeah, so we actually have some. We will have some hats that'll be out pretty soon. Probably in the next week or so. I'll open up the web store, so that way on the website, so people can go and because I've had a lot of requests for hats and coffee mugs and and that sort of thing. So those will be the 2 items that'll be up first.
This is what lockdown does to ancient people. That is not very nice. That is not very nice. We are not ancient. We are seasoned. Origin holders get free hats, right? I have no control over that one. I am not touching that one. Yeah, the prize for number 2 was the Mission 2 cards. He's not that much older than me. All right, guys, we're going to keep the floor open for just a few more minutes. If there's any questions that you guys want to get out, this is time. When Zinzo plus Age of Rust collab? Let's mingle. I'll have my people call your people.
All right. Yeah.
Okay. How does the DEF of Age of Rust will earn some money for making the game, selling T-shirts and stuff? Kermit, I didn't quite catch that question. Where can I buy Zinzo Pro at? You contact UNB. We got you. How many hours a week are you working on the game?
So right now I'm roughly spending anywhere between right around between 60 to 72 hours a week on coding the game. So that's the amount of time going into it. So I put about 12 hours a day into the game.
Yeah. Chris, how are you making money for making the game?
Yes, that's a really good question. Basically, even though part of the money-making opportunity obviously comes from Steam, when we do plan to sell for fiat, on Steam, will definitely be a way to make money there. We did do a crowdfunding round about 2.5 years ago. So that basically allowed us to, to fund a good portion of the development of the game. So, it's kind of like that. That's one of the ways that I'm definitely looking to make some money by selling the game on Steam. But it's kind of like if it makes money on Steam, great. If it doesn't, I've had the time of my life building the game, and I'll continue to make blockchain games, for as long as I can, and continue to make good stuff. So yeah.
Very nice. So when Age of Rust goes up for sale, what do you foresee it costing?
Probably, I think, I've been pushing some stuff around in terms of pricing, but the Steam level that I think is like, I think it's like $12.99.
Well, God, that's very.
Yeah.
I mean, that if that doesn't tell you where their head's at, I don't know what is. Because you got some of these games that are coming out that are a piece of a game and it's like $60. It's like, what? So that's very, very doable. So make sure you guys have a little bit of extra money in your pocket in December to get that game. So let's see. We kind of went over the how was Age of Rust born, what platforms can Age of Rust be played on. So it's mainly going to be PC, right?
Yeah. So right now, like the first build that'll be available will be for PC. But definitely, like the game got accepted into the Xbox indie program, so it'll definitely be coming out on Xbox sometime, probably towards the end of 2021.
Oh, and you can also sell your game on the Zenzo Arcade, but we'll talk about that later. So let's see. We got another one. Will there be simultaneous gamepad and keyboard mouse input? Yes, you will be able to use an Xbox controller. That is something that we talked about a little bit earlier. So you have funds already to make the game. That is good to give a piece for yourself. Yes, I mean, obviously, if you guys couldn't just go by how the show was going, there's definitely that feel that there is something more deeper than just money here. Yes, you can turn a profit from something. There's a right way to go about that. But to nickel and dime your players is not that way. And from what I'm seeing, this has to pay out. Because, I mean, even if you get a card, you're holding value. That's it.
Yeah, it's kind of like, I mean, I was mining Bitcoin, before starting on the project. And, I had initially designed to fund a good deal of the development of the project, on my own. So, but yeah, it's kind of like, for me, it's, this is more about building something that's an homage to some of the older style of adventure games and, modernizing it for blockchain and having an adventure and something for players to play and to get people interested in blockchain and crypto. So that was, that's why I built the game.
I think that's fairly solid. Yeah, Kermit, I see. They literally had the exact same time when they crossed the finish line. It is 142.996, and they're both it. But I guess just it's whoever pops up on top. That's just how we do it here. So let's see. Winners, please DM me, Mr. Urban B, in our Discord. Link right there to redeem your prizes. So we are at the closing of the show, gang. Chris, is there anything you want to let people know? What you got up to? What you got planned?
I'd just like to thank everybody for tuning in and joining your stream and coming here and asking questions and being part of the gaming and being part of the blockchain community. And that's really what this is about. It's just about us spending time together. I mean, I appreciate everybody who came and listened to the game and watched a little bit of the clips and got to learn more about myself and the game, and that's definitely appreciated. So for me it means a lot personally. So just thank you for just a thank you just to everybody. Yeah.
Well said. Well said. Well, guys, I'm Tendo. This is Chris. It's been our pleasure. Want to catch you guys at the next checkpoint. Like I said, we do this every month. So until then, I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Peace, gang. Say bye, Chris.
Adios.